Hello to everyone on the internet, and you are watching The Young Globalist. Alright folks, a bunch of very interesting stuff in the news today. As always, it's always quite interesting. But this is a little more special than most. So apparently Jeff Flake doesn't like Trump's tone of voice for some reason. Like, I preferred Obama's tone to Trump's tone. Yeah, well, you know what? Who fucking cares, okay? Who fucking cares? If you're telling the truth, you're telling the truth. People need a thicker skin. You a snowflake, Jeff? Jeff Snowflake as opposed to Jeff Flake? Jeff Snowflake? That's what his last name really is. It's just short. It's just shorthand. It really doesn't matter unless you are Jeff Snowflake. And he's just like the rest of me now. Old Jeff Flake. All the Democrats are basically just a horde of idiotic, power-hungry fools. They love the smell of power, which is why they're in bed with the globalists on most every issue. And you know what? They just spend way too much damn money. Their spending is ridiculous. The Democrats spend way too much money. They're crazy with how much money they spend. They actually want to expand the welfare state to the point where it's like, oh, where's the money going to come from? Like Bernie Sanders when he campaigned for president, like Bernie's strategy, just point out that something wrong with society, but then offer no solution. And make an empty promise about he's going to fix it, but then never specify how or why. Where's the money going to come from, huh? Friggin' socialist, man. Democratic socialism is a terrible, terrible thing. Alright, moving on. So, there were some rallies Trump had, one in West Virginia and another unspecified. And the New York Times had an article on that rally where Trump was actually talking about his economy. I thought he wasn't campaigning on his economy at all, he was focused on migration. But he is apparently campaigning somewhat on his economy, so he's doing something smart. But of course the New York Times had an article, quote-unquote, fact-checking, except the fact-checking was awful. It was completely biased. I fact-checked their fact-checking. And of course, they were basically talking out of their ass. Again, the supposed facts they were presenting were half-truths at best. Trump's economy is growing. He didn't inherit it from Obama. He's doing it. And why? Why is the economy growing under Trump? Because he's a businessman. Okay? He is essentially running the country like a business. As those of us who are smart knew he would, and knew it was going to be of benefit to every last one of us. Trump's taking care of us. He's taking care of the country. We're in good hands. Financially. Culturally and politically, maybe not. But financially speaking, Trump's going to see to it that we're going to be around for a good long while. We're going to be in the game for some time. And the Democrats can lie and lie all they want. And as to why they want socialism so badly, and they hate the fact that the Republicans do a better job with the economy than they do, they want democratic socialism because it sounds nice. It sounds nice, and therefore people will like it. And if they can give something to the people that the people will like, that secures votes, and therefore it gives them power. The Democrats want power. Oh, the Republicans want power too. They're also corrupt. The difference being, the Republicans want power, but they're also obsessed with tradition and sticking to political and social traditions. That's what's kept them from being as corrupt as the Democrats. Whereas the Democrats, being a liberal party, they're all like, tradition, we don't need that. Screw you, screw tradition, and screw you for wanting it. That's why they want socialism. It grants them power. As for the job and wage growth prior to Trump's election, well, look, the left has no logic on this. They just want to say, oh, it was all Obama, it's the Obama economy, just because they hate Trump because he's not one of them. Well, he's not a neo. He's not a neo-liberal. But he is a more classic liberal, like Clinton era. He's a business Democrat, absolutely. If he ran in the 90s, he would have been a Democrat. He only became a Republican because, what the Democrats have turned into. By the way, really quick, please vote Republican or Libertarian this coming election. I will say it once this is the final time because the midterms are on tomorrow. Please do not vote Democrat. Please vote Republican or Libertarian. Starve the beast. Please. Thank you. Here's what I think. I think the truth is that, yes, I think there were some good things that Obama did. Not many, but some. Trump's just taking what Obama did and expanding on it. He's taking everything Obama did right and making it even better and then throwing away everything he did wrong. Because Trump is a smart man. And they just want to say that it's all Obama because, because he's not one of them and they hate him. They're being stupid. And some of their facts are legit, but most aren't. Some of the supposed facts they brought up in the article are legitimate. Like, what were they saying? Yeah, some of Trump's immigration figures are faulty. Their immigration figures are faulty too, but less faulty. Because they have a bias. They'll try and steer things into their favor. Truth is, neither the right nor the left knows anything about immigration facts. They really don't. Because they both have a bias. That's why when you talk about immigration, you might as well talk to a centrist, because they're going to be more honest. And you're going to get more real facts on that. But yeah, so the article was very misleading. It's on the New York Times. It was an article on NewYorkTimes.com on Trump's rallies in West Virginia. And it's all very bad fact-checking. And you can look into it yourself, and you can fact-check yourself. I would ask you to do that, so please. Moving on. Stacey Abrams is a leftist politician. And she's looking to become the first black governor of Georgia. Now, I have nothing wrong, no problem in particular. I have no problem with black people. I actually like black people. I grew up in the 90s. Do you remember Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Do you remember a lot of those great old black sitcoms? Or the fact that, I've never met a black person I didn't like. Although I've heard of black people I didn't like, I've never personally met them. And I don't think I would like Stacey Abrams very much. Not because she's black, but because she's a leftist. And I don't like leftists. I think they're nuts. It's like they're either a snowflake or they're just extremely ignorant and manipulated by the media. And at this point, I feel sorry for them. I feel very sad for both of those, honestly. But she wants to become governor of the state of Georgia. And the sad thing is she might get it because her opponent, a Republican, I don't recall his name, I should have looked into it, honestly. Looked into it more. Has a history of dirty tactics. Sort of messing with some voting. Not like in the way what Democrats have done in the past, we're getting the signature of dead people, but like out of like a mortuary. Or from birth certificates, but no, like, just stuff like messing with facts, manipulating of facts, sort of redirecting people's intentions, that sort of thing. Just sleight of hand type stuff. Abrams herself claims that that it's going to be a fair election. She thinks. I don't know about that. I don't think any of them are capable of being fair. This Georgia governorship election is going to be a farce, in my opinion. It's going to be a huge farce. I mean, I can't stand leftism, or leftism in general. I can't stand leftism. Because it's extremism. It's absolute extremism. I can't understand rightism either. That doesn't roll off the tongue as well. Rightism. Yeah. Oof. I can't stand either direction. It's too far to the left or too far to the right. You find sanity in the middle. But leftism is particularly just, ugh. You know? The problem with leftism is it's basically just rampant socialism and cultural Marxism and stupidity. Bad times had by all. Moving on. Pompeo and Trump have some very tough sanctions on Iran. They left the Obama-era Iran deal and replaced it with a new set of sanctions, which are pretty savage, honestly. Now, I think that sanctions against other countries not under our sovereign authority, I think that's overstepping our authority, honestly. That's none of our business. Unless it's something that directly affects us. If it's not, then it's none of our business, and we have no business sanctioning them. We do not have neither the moral, we do not have the moral authority, nor should we have the legal authority. But we do it anyway. This world policing nonsense needs to stop. Although it's obvious why they want to keep Iran from being a nuclear power. The fewer nuclear powers exist in the world, the better. You know, the world has a balance of force, and if that balance is upset, well, that's when world wars start. That's when major wars start. But I just think they should try and maybe find a better way than doing what is essentially overstepping our authority, either moral or legal. We shouldn't be able to sanction a country that is not directly under our sovereign authority. Like, we can sanction Puerto Rico or American Samoa or Jamaica because they are under our sovereign authority. They are vassal states under the United States government. But Iran is not. Sanctions are stupid. And let's just say, even if the end justified the means, do you really believe that sanctions actually accomplish anything? Because historically they haven't. Historically speaking, all sanctions from the U.S. have ever done is just make situations worse, like the recent sanctions against North Korea as what is essentially punishment for them wanting to build nukes. And the sanctions themselves inspire them to go back on their word and start trying to build nukes again. So I think it's pretty clear by now that sanctions do not work. They're about as effective. They're about as effective as something that's not effective. I couldn't come up with a clever metaphor, sorry. Not on my best today, folks. Anyway, that's all for now. Cheers.